Welcome to Chapel. We gather here to celebrate God, to praise, honor, and give thanks to the one who was, who is, and who is to come. Here we take time to remind ourselves of the beauty of community, the importance of diversity, and the responsibility to serve. We want to make our identity crystal clear. We are light seekers, tribe dwellers, and storytellers. We will passionately seek after God, our creator and light. We will be for our tribe and will live in close community. We will confidently share our story with culture, bringing the light of Jesus into the world. Despite all the distractions of life, we choose to sing, to pray, to listen, and to reflect not only as a group of students, but as a movement of believers focused on Jesus, the one who became one of us so that we could live life abundantly. So welcome to the journey. This is Chapel.
Hey guys, it's Kayla. Welcome to the last chapel, and I invite you guys to come and sing with us. Unreserved, unrestrained, your love is wild. Your love is wild for me. It isn't shy, it's unashamed. Your love is proud to be seen with me. To be seen with me. You don't give your heart in pieces. You don't hide yourself to tease us. Uncontrolled, uncontained, your love is a fire burning bright for me. It's not a spark, it's not just a flame. Your love is light, and all the world will sing. All the world will sing. You don't give your heart in pieces. You don't hide yourself to tease us. You don't give your heart in pieces. You don't hide yourself to tease us. Your love's not fractured, it's not a troubled mind. It isn't anxious, it's not the restless kind. Your love's not passive, it's never disengaged. It's always present. It hangs on every word you say. Love keeps its promises. It keeps its word. It honors its sake, 'cause its vows are good. It's not broken. It's not insecure. Your love's not selfish. Your love is beyond. And you don't give your heart in pieces. You don't give your heart to Jesus. You don't give your heart in pieces. You don't hide yourself to Jesus. You don't give your heart in pieces. You don't hide yourself to Jesus. So for this next song, I'm sure many of you guys know Rain Above It All, and I hope you guys will sing along. The reign of darkness now is ended in the kingdom of light, in the kingdom of light. Forever under your dominion, you're the king of my life, you're the king of my life. You reign above it all, you reign above it all. Over the universe and over every heart, there is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. On the cross, the work was finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new life. Now from the lips of the forgiven, hear an anthem arise. 'Cause Jesus, you are alive. Oh, you reign above it all. You reign above it all. Over the universe and over every heart, there is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. Heaven and the earth are up to song. Sing hallelujah to the everlasting one. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. You reign above it all. You set the darkness running out of an empty grave. You're seated alone in glory, enthroned on the highest praise. You set the darkness running out of an empty grave. You're seated alone in glory, enthroned on the highest praise. You set the darkness running out of an empty grave. You're seated alone in glory, enthroned on the highest praise. You set the darkness running out of an empty grave. You're seated alone in glory, enthroned on the highest praise. Oh, You reign above it all. You reign above it all. Over the universe, over every heart, there is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. Let all of heaven and the earth erupt in song. Sing hallelujah to everlasting one. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. Thank you for singing along with me.
Hi guys, my name is Sean and I'll be doing the prayer today. Let us bow our heads for prayer. Okay, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for being with us, for keeping us safe, and for letting us for keeping us company during this hard time. Lord, continue to bless us and to be with those who are in trouble and those who need your help, Lord. Send your holy angels and be with us for this chapel. May we have fun, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hey guys, welcome to the final chapel. I'm Lillian and I'm a senior at Loma Linda. It's been amazing worshiping with you guys this year. Before we go on, we have some birthdays to celebrate. On May 25th, we have seniors Bianca Acevedo Garcia and Connor Church. On May 26th, we have Riley Ice, 7th, Alessandro Dacia, 11th, and Jasmine Tomlin, 9th. And on May 29th, we have Xander Kim, 10th. So make sure to wish them a happy birthday. We also have game night tonight at 7 p.m. Now we'll continue with the service. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wilson.
And my name is Linnell.
And today we are joined with Mrs. V. Hopefully soon.
Mrs. V, there you are.
How are you?
We're doing well, I think.
Doing well, yes. For sure.
Anyway, so we are joined by the great Mrs. V, and we're just here to, sit down and have a little chat, So one question that we want to know is, during this troubling time, what are you doing to keep sane, keep happy, keep motivated?
I am going to sound like a broken record, but beginning of the year, you guys, whenever you would ask me things, and even in chapel, I was crying my woes about my daughter being gone to Micronesia. And while she wanted to settle into just weathering the pandemic over there, she was forced to come back. And so one of the things that are keeping me sane right now and happy is both of my kids are home. So my husband and my kids are there, and we've been having lots of family time. I've been cooking more than I've cooked in the last 3 years, and just sitting down at dinner. And then right now I'm in my office, but I've been home this whole time. And my daughter would come and say, "Are you busy?" And I would say, "I'm always busy. What do you want? Let's run and get coffee." So quick coffee breaks, coffee runs. And so just that time with my family has been keeping me sane and happy in my cup full.
That's awesome. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Wilson, do you have a question?
I have a question. So how excited are you, or what are you looking forward to, and like once we're getting back into everything?
You guys, I am just looking forward to seeing all of you. And I'm saying seeing all of you, and it's going to be more like, I'm not going to see the two of you because you're going to be somewhere in college. But I'm just looking forward to seeing our students coming in. I'm looking forward to seeing life happen. And the best part of my job is when I just get to see the interactions. And you guys, I think, have gotten to see that I'm a little more, I don't know, reserved, quiet, but I love seeing it happen. And so I can't wait until that happens again. I was looking at the yearbooks last night, and I was like, oh, they're students and they're together and they're happy and there's these activities, and
Yes.
I can't wait for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my yearbook. That is, Wilson has done some incredible work, I hear. So
It's
Whole
beautiful.
staff.
that's awesome. One more question. What's something that you want to let the students know right now?
Right now, I want all of you guys to know, all of our students to know how much we care for you and how much we miss you. When I'm saying that the best part of my job and your teachers' jobs, because when we're together and talking about it, is doing life with you guys. You keep us young and maybe not looking, but feeling young and happy. And so I just want you to know how much you are missed and how much your presence matters to us. I want all of our students to know that I realize how hard things are right now. But the best way that I've been able, because it's just like we're all living a similar experience in different levels. And the best way that I've been able to explain it, at least in how it feels to me, is, people always tell you there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And this is a long tunnel, you guys, but it's a tunnel. It's not permanent. Things are going to get better, and we're going to be with people. You guys are gonna get back to the things, to the people. Things might look better, and there might be better hygiene all around. But we're gonna get back to the good things in life together, and I want you to remember that. We are challenged by this moment.
Right.
But what I want to challenge each one of you to do, and it's my challenge to myself too, is I don't want to come out of this tunnel unchanged. I want to notice something a little more, or to enjoy slowing down a little more. So I encourage you to look for what it is that you want to have gained from this tunnel. But there is a light, and I want you to remember that.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you. That's great advice. Before we end the segment, we actually have a few words of encouragement that we just want to just give to you to, keep going, Wilson, you want to start us off?
Of course. So someone says that you are someone that always promotes good conversation, translating to others that you genuinely care about them.
Mrs. V, I want to thank you for being constantly and consistently determined. And it just shows how much you care about your students.
All right. Another is, you are a superwoman. You accomplish so many tasks in a day, and you are continuously doing things for the benefits of these students and campus as a whole.
This one is from me personally. Like, I feel this so much. I've noticed throughout this year that constantly you're super busy, and I always see you like rushing from meeting to meeting, and it just warms my heart how intentional you are in taking the time to ask how I am and just to really be in the moment with me. And like just take the time to be there with me and really care about me.
I do agree with Lena on that one. There have definitely been times where we have both approached you and you have been rushing to your classes or different meetings and whatnot, and you had taken the time, and that means the world to us. And lastly, one student says, "You are an incredibly strong person and you are an exceptional representative of the high school."
Yeah, you are such a positive presence, and we are so grateful to have you as our principal. Thank you so much, Mrs. B.
Thank you guys. And you too, thank you for praying for me all year. And thank you guys for those words of encouragement. I will treasure that.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Chloe.
I'm Emily.
My name is Chris.
I'm Fiona, and Chris and I are both seniors at Loma Linda Academy.
And me and Emily are 8th graders. So today we're going to be interviewing the seniors to get some advice from them. So the first question I have for you guys is, what was your favorite extracurricular and why? Chris,
I would, yeah, sorry. That's okay. I would say my favorite extracurricular was Friends Next Door, which was a club that's available at in high school. It's like we held a monthly VBS at one church for the entire year, and through the club, you're really able to learn about like leadership and how to take care of kids, while at the same time being able to interact with the curriculum that's being taught to the kids. And you also get community service hours, which you really need to graduate.
Oh, I would say that mine would be essay, our student association events that we put on, like banquet, or like even the used uniform store, our bookstore, and like noontime activities. So it's a really good place to get involved.
those both sound super fun.
Okay, so how do you learn to manage your time?
Balancing my schoolwork and mental health is super important, especially when as a freshman and as a sophomore. Know when you need to sleep and when you have reached your limit of being able to do schoolwork. That's very important. And also recognizing what distractions you're addicted to and having the mental fortitude to be able to restrain them really helps you to be able to use your time wisely.
I would manage my time by trying to tackle the hardest things first and like try your best to avoid procrastinating because it does get to you. And then also have friends that can hold you accountable for if you're like slacking off.
So for you, what is the hardest part about high school?
Probably like walking around campus at first. It's a huge campus in comparison to junior high. And as a freshman, there's a lot of teachers and rooms you don't know about because you only have like the 8 or so teachers when you first start off. So it's really easy to get intimidated. Just walk around campus, don't be afraid. And also there's a lot more bathrooms than you think, so use that to your advantage as well. Everyone gets lost in high school, so you're not like the only one. So keep that in mind.
I would say like in the beginning of high school, it was like kind of stressful because you had to like choose all your classes and like try to plan your first 4 years out. But like eventually it will become smoother, and I was fortunate to have like a really strong friend group, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
For sure. Okay. So the next question is was it difficult to find your way in high school at first?
Yeah, most definitely. It is a shift of responsibilities that you gain in comparison to junior high and high school. Like the minute you hit high school, you kind of become a pseudo adult and you're like expected to be able to carry your own weight, which it's so much more in comparison to junior high. And you need to learn how to do that properly at an early stage or else you're going to sink
and it's very hard to get back up in high school. So yes, that was the hardest part.
Yeah, and I think I agree with what Chris said, because there's a lot more responsibilities when you go into high school. Like you can start driving, you have like more heavier projects that you can work on. So yeah.
All right, the last question I have is, what is your advice for incoming seniors? And then what's your advice for incoming freshmen?
My advice to incoming seniors is make your year the easiest you can manage, so that you are like able to have the flexibility to add more stuff if you want, or just keep it as simple as possible. Don't stress about college. Even if you don't know what you're doing, that's totally fine. People don't know what they're going to do in college when they hit college. That's completely normal. And for incoming freshmen, don't be intimidated by all of the older people on campus, and don't let the thought of, oh, freshman year is easy, to like slack off on your work. Keep doing your best at everything you do, and it will pay off most definitely.
For the juniors who are about to become seniors, I would say to find your loyal friends to stick with during senior year, because that's the last year that you'll probably be with them for like this amount of time. And then to also try to be involved, because it's your last year too, and you can make more memories in your last year. And then for incoming freshmen, I would say to also get involved, because there's a lot more that you can do, and to just try new classes.
That was really solid advice, guys. Thank you so much for opening up, and I'll be sure to use some of that in my incoming high school years. Thank you.
In Daniel 3, we read that Babylon has sieged the region. Jerusalem has fallen, and the Israelites are taken captive. Their temple has been destroyed, their country devastated by war, and their homes are lost. Years later, the Israelites have begun to build homes and communities in this new land. Daniel, the one we know about, has taken a place of leadership, and the Israelites become respected, even admired by his empire. So much so, when it comes to the moment they need to fill leadership roles, they approached Daniel and asked if he had any recommendations of any people that would help him rule over the place. And he chose 3 dudes, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, or the names we know them as Shadrach, Meshach, and
But you can
Abednego.
tell them that they can start practicing again.
Yeah.
So maybe this offered the Israelites hope, a position of leadership, given voice even. Here is the phoenix rising up from the ashes. Then one day, their king, King Nebuchadnezzar, builds a golden statue, 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. That's just like the head of the Statue of Liberty, just at the head of it, but with the size of ratio of the Washington Monument. So it was an interesting statue. Now, all the officials were invited to the revealing ceremony, and this was a decree. When the music starts, all the leaders need to bow down and worship the golden image. In verse 6 of Daniel 3, it says, "Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace." When the music played, and during this time of surely enough, in verse 7 here, all the nations of people of every language fell down and worshiped the image of the gold that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Well, almost everyone. See, some Babylonians turned in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They said, "Look at these guys. They're being disobedient and failing to honor your statue." Now, King Nebuchadnezzar flips out and orders these 3 Jewish boys to be brought in. He asks them, "What is what your accuser is saying true?" In verse 16, we read, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend yourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Fully persuaded in God, regardless of the outcome, they are not bowing, these three teenagers said. They know God's power, and they also know that they must do what is right, even if God does not do what they expect or hope him to do. Now, King Nebuchadnezzar, I call him King Nebi, got really heated. He ordered the furnace to stop being like a normal fire, but become like a fire, 7 times hotter than usual. In verse 19, then Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude towards them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. So these men, wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes, were bound and thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent and the furnace so hot that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Verse 23, and these 3 men, firmly tied, fell into the blazing furnace. However, when the king was probably like, see, got him. This is what happens when you don't listen to me. In verse 25, this is what it says. He said, King Nebuchadnezzar, look, I see 4 men walking in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like the son of the gods. The king called out to them in the fire. This is verse 27. They saw that fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair on their heads singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell on fire on them. Here's what I love about this story. Even in the midst of this incredible challenge, the 3 boys, and they were boys in their teenage years, actually close to the sophomore class in high school, they chose to cling to their experience with God. God had not failed them yet. So why choose to settle for a God that would fail? They claimed that God would not fail, So they chose to be light seekers. They chose to stick together, and they didn't throw anyone under the bus. They didn't blame the situation on anyone else. They committed to each other. So they also chose to be tribe dwellers. And of course, we know this story because of the stories told by those who witnessed and became storytellers. Family, in this season, amidst the pandemic, we are in the fire. And to everyone watching right now, I know that even in this time, you or someone you know is in a season where someone or something is calling for you to bow down to it and submit to the temptation of giving up on God. Now, stress, temptation, bad attitudes, bad habits, cheating, gossip, these are all things that we've dealt with, but now even more, we deal with things and this season where we feel like we're bound by ropes. I want to remind you in verse 20, it reads, and he commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. Now, these were not slip knots. These were serious military-grade knots. In fact, when they went to the furnace, they were not even thrown into the furnace. In verse 25, he said, look, they fell into the furnace. And he says, look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed. And the 4th looks like a son of the gods. They weren't standing there. They weren't lying down. They were walking in the fire. But there was one more person in there with them. And the fire, all the fire did was burn away the things that had them bound. As we transition into this last week of school, friends, many of us enter into a time of deep uncertainty. Many of us feeling like we're falling into the fire. Our seniors will begin their goodbyes to the memories that have shaped them. So let us allow the footsteps of these teenagers to guide us, who in the fire chose to be light seekers, who looked for glimpses of hope or even created it. They provided opportunities for others to experience goodness. Let's choose to be tribe dwellers, completely committed to investing in our communities, physically distanced, but socially connected and emotionally available. And let's choose to be storytellers, active in sharing our experiences of hope, peace, joy, and of tragedy, tension, and brokenness. For in the end, as whatever fire or whatever systems call us to doubt in the deliverance of God, we may walk out stronger than ever. So may the God of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah empower you to walk through the fire knowing that God is always present, even in these times, and know that we can actually still see the love. Let's reflect on this song together. Take it away, Kayla.
Every day we go to war again. We assume we know so much more than them. Before we hear what they have to say, headline breaks, and we start to hate again. Calling their names again, we give our peace away. I hope they see it, 'cause I wanna see it. I hope we believe it. I wanna see the love all around you, all around you. And I wanna know that love is all around you. It's all around. Day by day, hope fades away, and then we know that there is pain that cannot medicate. Learn to feel, learn to begin again. Open our eyes again to see our brothers again. I hope they see it. Hope they believe it. I wanna see the love all around you. All around. I wanna know that love is all around you. See how it like you. I want you around you, all around. I wanna know that love
Thank you so much, Kayla. Before we officially close the books on Chapel of this year, I wanted to thank all of you who have tuned into this experience, and your presence means the world to our team. Also wanted to thank all our participants who have joined us on Zoom for these online chapels. But all the in-person chapels also we've had over this school year. Really appreciate all the help and participation we had. Thank you to the chapel team who have put on countless hours into this production, our tech, music, and production teams who have been completely world-class. Lastly, I do want to recognize our graduating student chaplain, Linnell Bathan. Can you please get on the video, of course? Thank you so much, Linnell, for your guidance, your leadership, and vision for campus ministries this year. You have served us well. Thank you, and thank you. Our team has grown stronger because of you, so really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure serving with you. With that, family, we look forward to worshiping together again this fall, and may these lasting moments of the school year be memories of hope, peace, and thankfulness. God bless.